What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Trout Wrangler podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garrity, and this here is my friend Maverick. Got a good episode lined up for you guys today. I had a guest today. We had to postpone because something came up in his schedule, and he's not going to be free until next week. So you will get to hear from our guest next Tuesday, June 17th at 3:30 p.m. But let's get into it real quick. As you can see, I am in a new space. I got a desk for our extra room. My birthday is actually next Tuesday, and my girlfriend was nice enough to get me a desk so that I don't have to use the dining room table anymore. So got a nice little space. Got to do something with that back wall back there. I can't really have it be too blank. Kind of want to put up like a cool flag back there or something like that. Something that like suits me. Grateful Dead flag, like widespread panic flag or something like that. Ideally. But what's cool about it, there's a bed back here. This is, like I said, our extra bedroom. Maverick gets to hang out with me. You want to say hi to him, Mav? You got anything to say, big guy? Nothing real crazy, but yeah. So got a nice little time desk. I have a spot where I can set up my laptop, which is actually really cool. So um, I have like a whole setup to where I can tie flies. I got my phone propped up over here. That's where I do like lives and stuff like that, and tie flies right here. It's actually really cool. But enough of that. Before I get into the full podcast, want to announce that I'm now partnered with Riversmith. If you have seen the two things on the top of people's cars when you're fly fishing in the mountains or something like that, or if you're down there at the beach, and you do see the thing on top of people's cars on the roof rack, long, kind of sticks out over the nose of their car, that would be a Riversmith rod quiver. And that is one of their main products. They also have the Convoy series luggage. Not really luggage, but duffel bag. They got a hip pack. They got a gear roll. The gear roll is really, really cool. Holds like all your rods, waders, boots, everything that you need to go fishing. Super, super cool thing that they're doing over there with that Convoy series. And if you want any of that stuff, riversmith.com, RIVERSMITH.com, and use code Wrangler10 at checkout to save 10% on your purchase. That was my first time reading that. That went pretty well, if you ask me. Boom, right off the cuff. Not horrible. I'm not built for that, but here we are. But enough of that. Let's get into the podcast. Got a pretty cool one coming today. So when I do my lives, I get a lot of questions while I'm sitting there tying, scrolling through, and I really like doing that. And I got a particular question the other day that I was like, you know what, that'd make a pretty good podcast topic. And that is what this episode's about today. Is things you need to know or familiarize yourself with before going fly fishing for the first time. I feel like that's one of those things. It's something that you kind of learn as you go. A lot of my stuff I learned as I went, and it was like trial and error. I had some absolutely brutal times. I'll share some stories in between it. and just like, real life experiences from things that I've learned from. And I'm gonna go through the stuff, just topic, and then, or like, little what it is, and I'll explain. Don't really know how to go on and explain that. It's like excerpt, maybe, bullet point and description. That's what I should say. Bullet point description. So yeah, I got a few topics, and just some good things, good, like, rules of thumb to familiarize yourself with. Be thinking about if you're going fly fishing for the first time. So let's get into it. The first thing I would do before I go fly fishing for the first time is, if you don't have a good a good group of friends that are already fly fishing, um, to learn from, go and find like a little fly club or a group of guys that meets, and group of guys that meets, share stories, share information, so to say, just like a group of guys that you can learn from. Um, if there's not really anything like that around you, which there are a lot of areas that don't have something like that, then go to YouTube. Right in front of your face, your smart TV, your computer, your cell phone, your smartphone, I should say, all have that YouTube app on it. Go and just look up the general information, what you should be doing, how to videos, just general stuff like that. That's kind of how I learned. Um, but I was lucky enough to have a group of friends that have fly fished and previously fly fished, or their dads fly fished. So I learned a lot from those guys. So get a good group of guys that surround you, or get a good group, like a buddy system. If you're doing something in the buddy system, that's always the best way to do it, in my opinion. But get some people around you, and who knows, maybe you and a friend could learn how to fly fish together. Uh, Not on some Brokeback Mountain shit, but just, you know what it is. Big thing before, going out, go and practice your casting. That is the big thing. Go and practice your casting. Sorry, got to take a sip. Not sponsored, but product placement. Cheerwine right here. Not affiliated or sponsored, but do love a good cold cheerwine here and there. But like I said, familiarize yourself with casting. Go to your local fly shop. Ask someone, hey, I'm thinking about getting into fly fishing. I heard you guys, I know Orvis stores do it, like a fly casting 101 class. Go and take it. The more you practice, the better you will become throwing a fly rod. Buy a lot of really cheap flies and prepare to lose a ton of them. Prepare to lose a ton of flies. Some companies that you could go to buy cheap flies. Big Y flies, that's a big one. Big Y flies is a really big one. So go to them. I think they do like 36-cent flies. And they're really good, well-tied, handmade flies from a commercial tire usually. But big thing, just really familiarize yourself with casting. Go out into a field. Go somewhere where you have a ton of room. and just cast. Watch a few videos and just go right along casting. The only way you're going to get better at casting is if you practice. Because if you go out there, I'll be honest, I did it a couple times. When I first learned how to fly fish, I couldn't cast worth a damn. And it made the first couple times I went out very grueling, and I was pissed by the end of the day. Didn't grab a spinning rod at all, but I was not happy leaving East Fork of the French Broad River at all. I was pissed. Lost literally like an entire fly box worth of flies and just sat there. I was like, I suck at this. And I did. I sucked. But literally just always practice. Big thing about fly fishing, you are never not learning. Never. I go out and I still learn something every time I go. Every time I go fly fishing, I learn something. Whether it's from another angler, whether it's a lesson that, like, some what not to do. I will share a few what not to do's later in this episode with some examples of what not to do, and because I've done a lot of those what not to do's, so learn them from firsthand experience. That's number one. Familiarize yourself with casting, and when you do it, just practice, 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 and practice. Cue the AI quote. You talking about practice? Practice? Yes, I am talking about practice because you're always going to want to be doing it. Number two. Sorry, I got all these notes on my phone. Be patient. Be patient. You're not going to pick up fly fishing overnight. And if you do, let me know how you did because I want to know how you picked up fly fishing overnight. But just be patient. Be patient learning. Be patient while you're on the water. Be patient in the whole entire process. Your first 10 times out, you might not catch a fish. But that first time you do catch a fish is the most rewarding feeling in the world. When you catch that first fish after you go out and you've been snagging the damn trees. You've been snagging yourself. You've been snagging bushes. You've been getting hung on the bottom. When you catch that first fish, I wish I could feel that feeling all over again. Because it's like, you know what? Damn, I did that. I did that all on my own. I picked up a fly rod and I didn't put it down until I caught a damn fish. Be patient. Don't ever. I mean, you can get aggravated. I'm not saying don't ever get aggravated because believe me, there have been plenty of times where I've snagged a dang bush. I've snagged a tree. I get that damn fly out of the tree. I'm tossing that rod down. I don't care. I'm tossing that rod down. But when you do that, when you're getting in that mode where you're like spinning out, when you're like, I'm getting ready to throw something, sit back, take a chill pill, maybe like hit that reset button. If you're not driving, if you're camping or something like that, don't be afraid to drink 6 to 10 beers on the bank and just shake it out a little bit. Get the edge off a little. It's nothing like a streamside Modelo can't fix. It's nothing that 10 streamside Modelos can't fix. Get the blood flowing a little bit, get the limbs moving a little loosey goosey. 6 to 10 Modelo's is always good for the soul, especially when you're fly fishing. Only when you're camping though. Don't drink 6 to 10 Modelo's on the bank and then drive. No bueno. No bueno. I haven't drank 6 to 10 Modelo's on the riverbank in a long time. My body yearns for that. But seriously, whenever you start getting in that mode where you're like, when you're spontaneously combusting and you feel like you're going to absolutely just crash out, sit back, eat that power bar in your back pocket in your waders. Not if it's been sitting there for like 6 months. Drink that cheer wine. Drink that body armor that you've got in the cooler. Drink those 6 to 10 Modelo's if you're not driving. Just relax a little bit, Hit that reset button. Because if you sit back, relax, and just let time do its thing, guess what? You get back, you're rejuvenated, a little sauced up. Get back out there and keep fishing. Do not ever say, yeah, I'm just going to put it, I'm going to throw it in the towel. I'm going to take my ass home. Fuck that. No, don't do that. Some people drive hours on end to the mountains. You're just going to be like, you know what? 3 hours back home, fuck it. I'm about to put it in the truck and go home. No. At least make it fun. There's enough breweries in the western North Carolina mountains that you can make any trip to the mountains a ton of fun. Even if the fishing's shit. But just hit that reset button and do not ever get discouraged. Never get discouraged. Like I said, that patience. Be patient. Be patient. It's going to take time. It's gonna take so much time. But trust the process. Trust the process. That's not it's not cliche at all. I'm not trying to be cliche there. But yeah, trust the process. Watch it, like feeling like you're getting better at something. Ooh, wow, that was almost very bad. Watching yourself get better at something or feeling like you're getting better at something, it's a great feeling. Honestly, like fantastic feeling. So just be patient, don't get discouraged, and just keep at it even if you want to stop. Because if you stop, quitters never win, dog. Quitters never win. But I do know a lot of people that quit. But number 3. This is a big one. I could do a entire podcast on this alone. Learn how to read water and the conditions around you. That is a big one. Learning how to read the water, sitting there, reading your conditions, and I always heard it when I was bass fishing. You know how you do it? Fish the conditions, fish the day. Always fish the day. It's kind of like fish whatever cards that day deals you, play them. Don't fold. Read your water. Read the surroundings around you. Look at the bugs on the water. Look at the trout rising. Flip over a few rocks. Try and put the pieces of the puzzle together a little bit. That is a very, very, very tough thing to sit there and really try and break down. It's a tough thing to learn too, believe me. I'm still trying to learn it. But this is my biggest thing that I always do. I'm about to do this. The biggest thing that I always do. The first thing when I get to the river or whatever new spot I'm fishing, because sometimes you're gonna you're going to have to get in the car, crank up the truck, and move somewhere. Whenever you get to where you're going, or you get to your starting spot, I like to sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Maybe close your eyes for like two, listen to the creek run, and open them. And then for the rest of the time, just kind of like scan around, try and read the environment around you. You could see if you could see some things that you would never know what was going on if you're if you're back here. You know what? I'm gonna simulate this. I have enough room to do this now. So say like you sit there and you're sitting there and you're like, all right, time to go fishing. Would you rather just sit there, kind of like look around, inspect your surroundings, or would you rather like all right, fellas, where's my rod? I reckon we're about to catch some fucking fish. Let's go. Pull that shit out, bam, bam, bam. You don't even attempt to read what's around you. Now, I know some people that do that, and they're still good fishermen. But it's like, take that extra 5 to 10. Take that extra 5 to 10. Read your surroundings. Read the environment around you. Have your ADD moment and watch the butterflies floating through the tight stream that you're fishing. I've done that multiple times, actually. I have multiple videos of me on the Green River just watching butterflies. Not even messing with you. I'll drop the video in here. But sit down, read your environment, and just slow down a little bit. Don't be in a rush to get in the river and immediately start fishing. That's where people make a very large mistake. If you're getting in there and you're rushing, you could slip and fall. You could hurt yourself. You could slip and shatter your leg. You could break a rod. Don't be in a hurry to get in the water. I could see if it's like 11 o'clock and you're like, ah, shit, I woke up late. I'm just trying to catch a couple fish. But it's like, you're there plenty early before the sun comes up. Shit, I'm moving at a damn snail's pace if I get there that early. I'm stopping for a McGriddle on the way in even. I might sit on the bank and eat my McGriddle. But do not be in a hurry to get in the river and start fishing. Like I said, unless you're running super late. But learn how to read the water. Look for rising fish. Flip over some rocks and see if there's bugs under those rocks. Maybe look at the way that the river's moving, the river's rolling. Kind of break down the situation. Maybe run through a couple like mental drifts in your head. Kind of plan out. It's like an offensive coordinator. Script your plays. Big yawn, big fella. Script out your plays. Script out kind of like, all right, my first cast is going to be over here. I'm going to let it drift down here. And there's hopefully going to be a fish on that plunge pool right there. Just kind of familiarize yourself with the area a little bit. But just learn how to read that water. That's tough. There's a great book that I want to say it's Tom Rosenbauer wrote. It's like a learn where to find fish, learn where the fish live. Really good book that breaks down how to do that really easy. Not really easy, but breaks down how to better do that. About to sneeze. Hold on, I'm about to pause this. All right, we're back. Yeah, he kind of breaks down how to find and figure out where the fish are. Some of the best and fishiest guys I know are those guys that are going out and striving to find what those fish are doing when the fishing's tough. Those guys, the guys that are catching fish when it's pouring down rain and the river is high and muddy, are probably the guys that, those are fishy dudes. Those are the dudes that know how to read the water. They know how to think like a fish, I should say. But just familiarize yourself with that. Watch the YouTube videos about how to read water. You can find anything on YouTube. Anything. Just a quick Google search, how to read water while fly fishing, what to look for when I'm beginning to fly fish, how to find fish while fly fishing. There's a wealth of information on the internet. Imagine that. I mean, somebody should look at me and be like, "Well, fucking thanks, Captain Obvious." Um, lastly, dude. I mean, not lastly, second to lastly. Go to your local pond and practice. Kind of like put yourself in that situation. Given like if you don't live close to a stream, go to a local pond and just beat away at panfish and little bass and stuff like that. Streams, like dude, there are little urban streams all over Charlotte, and they all hold fish. So kind of like put yourself in that uh in that situation, but not in the mountains. I know it's hard to scratch that itch of being in the mountains and that whole feeling. It's tough, but there are definitely ways that you can scratch the itch and put yourself in a real life situation where it is almost like in the mountains. It's like diet mountain fly fishing, I should say. um, but it's definitely go and whack away at some like panfish. That gets you acclimated with your hook set. Um, Gets you acclimated with a lot. How to hook set, how to fight a fish. The more time you spend on the water, the better you will get. I will stand by that. The more time you spend on the water, the better you'll be. The more you practice, the better you'll be. That's with anything. Sports, fishing, hell, work. The more you practice, the better you'll be. Um, the last thing, like it's not a huge thing, but basic entomology. If you can flip over a rock and be like, all right, that's a stonefly, that's a caddis, um, that's a mayfly. You don't need to know like that's a beta super saiyan um Shanghai Saigon fly. You don't need to know all the Greek like um acronyms or whatever. You're not gonna have to know all the like crazy names. You know what I'm talking about? The ones it's like Betis, um, whatever. I don't even know half of them. Well, stoneflies, caddis, ants. These are your regular bug names. You don't need to go like super crazy in depth. Somebody's like, "Oh, is that a Betis Super Saiyan Saigon Sammy Sprinkler fly?" I'm like, "Buddy, I don't have a fucking clue. This is just a mayfly that I tied sitting at my bench." Like, you don't need to know the crazy terminology names. Another thing, kind of familiarize yourself with a um hatch chart, learn how to read them. I have an episode with Ian McCreary from Wyoming Trout Unlimited that very, very much so is a great resource for learning how to read a hatch chart. It's kind of like Hatch Charts 101. But that's really all I got for today. A couple things to familiarize yourself with, just safety wise. Some of these places where you do go and fish, very remote. Sometimes no no cell phone service. Sometimes no civilization for like 45 minutes to an hour. So always have that plan for like when shit hits the fan up there. Have a have a have a first aid kit in your car in case some shit happens. Have a have a little portable charger in case your phone dies out there. Keep some extra waters around in like a cooler in the back of your truck. Um, Go the extra measures in case the worst case scenario happens. If the worst case scenario happens, guess what? You're prepared. There have been times where I'm not prepared. I was not prepared at all. Um, so I will tell these two stories. So this is a perfect example. But some of this stuff, like the portable charger, is completely out the window if what happened to me happens. Because half of these places you won't have cell phone service until you get all the way down the damn mountain. And that's kind of tough. But, you know, I was up. Um, I look back on it and I'm like, what? Why didn't I think before I did this? I am a, I'm like a worst case scenario happens, just prone person. Um, so one morning, before I went to work, I had to be at work at like, let's say it was like noontime. And I was like, you know what? I work like 45 minutes from where I'm going fishing. I'm like, I'll throw my shit in the truck and I'll go up there and, I'll go fish. So, me being the idiot that I am, wake up bright and early the next morning. I'm like, all right, time to go fishing. Stone Mountain State Park. I think it was South Mountain State Park. I'm like, all right, South Mountain State Park, man. We're going fishing. And then going to work at noontime. So I'm up there and get up there perfectly fine. Forget, I don't have that much gas in my truck. I get there, I'm like, oh shoot, I got 50 miles of gas in my truck. So I'm sitting, I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. But I'm like, all right, I have enough to get out of here and get to the closest gas station. Keep that big, um, that big detail in your head right there. I have enough gas to get down the mountain. So get in there, I fish, and it is horrible. I'm talking like, get up there, I fished like a wild stream, went, fish delayed harvest, just desolate. South Mountain State Park is one of those places where it's like, you're either going to catch none or you're going to catch like a few. You're either going to have 4 or 0. And the amount of pressure that place gets is unreal. So get out there, and I'm like, all right, not doing too well. It gets to be like 10:30, 10:45-ish. I look down, I'm like, I should probably get going. So pull up and get to my truck, and I'm getting ready to leave. Put my key in the ignition, go to crank it up. Cranks up for like 5 seconds, cuts off. I'm like, huh, what the fuck? Go to crank it back up, it's like, nothing. Try to hit it again, click, click. I'm like, oh my God. Look down at my phone, I'm like, I had to call work, and I got to call my girlfriend and my mother. That time I didn't call my mom because I knew, like, if I was waiting, if I didn't text my mom back and she texted me, she's like, what the fuck, where is he? And then she looks down, she's like, oh shit, he was going fishing this morning. That can't be good. And then everybody's panicking. So I just call my girlfriend in work. So call my girlfriend, I'm like, hey, kind of out of gas up here at South Mountain State Park. Don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to figure it out. So I go in. I had found a phone, like a Ranger phone, connected to a Ranger station across the road from the parking lot. And that's how. So I got a hold of a park ranger in South Mountain State Park. I knew these state parks had these phones at ranger stations. And so I was a recreation and parks management major. And I think that is the only thing I ever used from that major where I was like, yeah, ranger station right there, there's a phone there. Put two and two together, call a ranger, she comes up, unlocks the ranger station. I'm talking, I'm still in full waders, boots, and everything. And so I go in there, grab the phone, I'm like, hey Maddie, ran out of gas up here at South Mountain. I already called work. See you later. I don't have any service on my cell phone, so I'll call you when I get out of here. So start working on the real problem. Um, so I have a maintenance person from the park come up first. She's like, "Hey, what's up? Is there something wrong?" I'm like, "Yeah, my truck's out of gas." She's like, "Oh, okay." Gives me like a gas can from the back of the maintenance van. I'm like, "Oh shit." So I go to stick it in um the gas cap, how it siphons in there. I had a 2013 F-150, and I'm talking, I went to go put the spout in there. That thing ain't budging, dude. I figure out how to get it in, get it so that it will pierce through it, and finally get it in. I dump that entire can, hand the park ranger like $15 cash, and she's like, "All right, sounds good." I go to do it again. Click. I'm like, "Oh no!" So I start looking at like other options. I'm like, man, I might have to call friggin' AAA. I call AAA. I'm like, hey, I don't know what the heck is going on with my truck. This is on the Ranger phone again. Like, I don't have a clue what's going on with my truck. Like, I'm gonna need it towed, and then I'm gonna need a ride to work. and they're like, all right, sounds good. We'll send a tow truck out there. And they're like, what road are you on? I'm like, just go into South Mountain State Park and just stay straight, and you'll see me in full camo Sims waders, boots. You can't miss me. And they're like, I kind of need an exact location. I'm like, all right. I asked somebody, I'm like, what road is this? Give them the road. They're like, all right, that road isn't coming up. I'm like, yeah, because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Um, So that maintenance lady leaves, and then the actual park rangers come. And one of them goes into the shop and wheels out like a whole big like hand crank um whole hand crank like gas pump kind of thing with gas in it. So they're sitting there and cranking, and they they're like, all right, that should be the whole tank. I'm like, damn, all right. So they're like, try and crank it over. And I go and click again. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, damn it, man. So they're like, we're gonna go fill this thing back up. And there's a ranger looking. They're like, know what it is. They're like, your truck is parked at an angle, and the gas isn't hitting the sensor, and it's not allowing your truck to turn over. I'm like, you're way smarter than me, dude. So he's like, I'm gonna fill it up. He's like, eventually, he's like, you're gonna get enough gas in this thing that it's gonna end up turning over. The gas is gonna hit the sensor, and you'll be good to go. So here I am. Still, I'm looking down at my watch now. It's like 12:30. I'm supposed to be at work at 12. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm gonna be real late today. And so finally, cranking it. And then he's like, all right, try it. He's like, I've got about half of the tank out of there. Hit it. It goes, vroom, cranks up. I'm like, you're the man. You're the man. You're the man. Thank you so much. I hand them cash for gas money. And they're like, dude, you don't need to give me this. They're like, we get somebody that brings gas to us. It's fine. That's what this stuff's here for. Situations like this. So I'm like, thank you so much. Helped me out a ton. I was like, can I bring you like McDonald's or something like that next time I'm up here? He's like, yeah, we'll count on that. He's like, you know where the ranger station is. He's like, just drop it at the door. I'm usually here at like 10 o'clock. I did do that too next time I was there. Don't know why the fuck I went back, but I did just to really get that McDonald's. But um, that was probably one of the dumbest mistakes I ever made while I was learning. Other than like hooking myself with a fly, catching my own hat, like hooking trees. There's some stupid shit that I've done while I was fly fishing, but that was probably one of the stupidest. But the second example I got, I was talking about no cell phone service. So um, it was a big component of the last one too, the last story. No cell service, but this is more of a no cell service story. So this was, let me see. I gotta see when that was. It was around this time 2 years ago because it was my girlfriend and I had just started dating. Um, let's see. Um, huh, weird noises out there. Let's see. Here it is. So it wasn't around this time. It was actually August. Um, so I went. This was still, yeah. This is the first year my girlfriend and I were dating. So I went up to Wilson Creek. If you ever have the idea to go up to Wilson Creek during any time in the summer, um, or even in the month of August, I just I just pass it up. Honestly, I wouldn't even go. Um, it's so crowded out there, and it is tough, super tough. Anyway, I went up there with one of my buddies and got up there, and I told my girlfriend, I was like, hey, going fly fishing. It's kind of up here in the middle of nowhere. I'm talking, this is May, June, July, 3 months into us dating. Um, she hasn't even really been around fly fishing much. Um, so she, she's like, okay, sounds good, have fun. I'm not thinking. I'm like, all right, sounds good. Don't tell her where we're going. Don't give her a road. Now it's like if I'm going fly fishing, she's like, send me the closest address, send me the road you'll be off of, and like a place where you'll be if I have to come and find you. So we do that now. But at this point she didn't know any of that. So I get up there and I fish an entire day. I don't even touch my phone. No service at all the entire day. And we stop, like, we're getting ready to leave, and we get out of the park where Wilson Creek is at, and I got like 7 or 8 missed calls. I'm like, fuck. It's like, shit, I didn't tell Maddie that I'm not gonna have cell phone service today. So I call Maddie back. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, I failed to mention there's absolutely no cell phone service out around Wilson Creek, like none at all, even in like the city limits of Wilson Creek. She's like, I thought you were dead. I thought you were dead. I was like, oh, my bad. Like, this actually happens often, especially when I go and fly fish. So now she knows the ropes. Knows the ropes. Kind of expects that I I may not have cell service in some of these places. So I let her know. Road, send her like a little pin where we're going. Um, and so she knows where I'm at now. It's like, let's see, God forbid, we ever break up, she's gonna have some fucking badass fly fishing spots. God forbid. I don't think we will any. We won't. I don't think we'll break up. We kind of have that. We've had that talk a few times. Not happening. So I'm still. None of my fly fishing spots are gonna get ousted and spot burned. Via my girlfriend letting them out. So big lesson there. What did you learn? Tell your people where you're going. Um, Send them a map pin. Send them a road. Send them a thing. If I'm not out by, say, 7 o'clock at night, call the authorities. Send out the search party. Um, but always have that plan in place in case shit hits the fan. It will save you a lot of headache. And tell your girlfriend where you're going. It'll save you a lot of headache there. You won't be in the doghouse when you get home. Everything you'll have a way more relaxed relationship with your girlfriend if you just tell her where you're going fishing. Um, so those are my two stories of the things that I learned the hard way, and all the stuff that you should kind of familiarize yourself with. If I have any more, I'll be posting them on the Rise Flies Instagram page. Let's see. Um, I saw that there's a huge. I think it was a a event going down here. Oh, I know what it is. If you're in the state of Florida, um, you got the fly fishing film tour going to Decision Tactical in North Orlando. It's an expo as well, so you're gonna have some really cool vendors there. Um, Bob Klauser's going to be there. John Grosta, who I've had on this podcast, he's going to be there. 4:30, Town Center Circle, Sanford, Florida. 12 to 9 p.m. Um, big fly fishing film tour thing going down North Orlando, Florida. Go check that out. Again, it is this. No, it was last Saturday. My fault. My fault. I think 3 days ago. Was that Tuesday, Monday, Sunday? Yeah, so I think it. Oh, it's Saturday. It isn't this Saturday. It is Saturday, July 12th, 2025, from 12 to 9 p.m. Decision Tactical. Um, Decision Tactical in North Orlando, Florida, technically Sanford. You're going to have the Florida Fly Fishing Association there. All those fly fishing film tour guys. The fly fishing film tour stuff is so cool. If you haven't been to one, I highly recommend you going. Check out John, man. John's a cool guy too. Two-handed spay rod. He caught an arapaima this week on a spay rod. Pretty sweet. First guy to catch a 200 plus pound fish on a two-handed spay rod. Fun fact. Let's see. I know I saw one more. I think it might have been Headwaters. Head Headwaters Outfitters. Let's see. Give her what's on my fingers? Give Dad a River Day. Shoot, that was the Hellbender 20 milers coming up. Let's see. I know there was a somewhere around here that there was a event going on. Let's see. I forget what it was. When I figure it out, I will send it. Put it on the Instagram page. Was it Headwaters? Was it Hendersonville that did it? No, it wasn't Hendersonville. Let me check. Trailside Brewery's having something that's called Fish Laugh Love Comedy Fundraiser. Excuse me. Where was it? What was it, man? I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, we got cast and drafts coming up too. June 28th. We got cast and drafts in Charleston, South Carolina at let's see. I know it was somewhere that they said it was at a brewery that they always have it at. Shoot, where was it? I know summer kickoff party. Cast and drafts. I think it was like Freemore Brewing or something like that. They said it was. But go and check it out. You also have June 13th, Friday. You got the Winyah Angler Outfitter and Trading Company. They're having the Summer Series Fly Tying Night. That's going to be pretty cool. Shit. Where's the let's see. Oh, damn. But yes, cast and drafts June 28th. I will drop the location in the show notes when I find it. Have some really cool people with that. Still not the thing I was looking for. Let's see. Um, hmm, was it? What was it? Hunter Banks, maybe? Hunter Banks fly fishing. Wasn't Hunter Banks. I'll figure it out and I'll put it on the social media. But that's about all I got for this episode. Like I said, Wrangler 10, Riversmith.com. Go and use the code Wrangler10 to save 10% on any purchase that you make from Riversmith. And that's it. Have a great rest of your day until Friday. I'll have another solo episode Friday, and that's going to be our last one for a long time. So, and not really big announcement, but announcement. I am going to start taking the first Tuesday and Friday off of every month, unless a guest really wants to record that day, just to kind of kick off that month, kind of get everything set up for it, and all that. But that's it for this week, or this Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week, and I will get up with you guys Friday. Thank you.